It is my pleasure to introduce tonight's participants. I'd ask if you can please hold your applause until all have been introduced. To my immediate left, former State Delegate Rashawn Baker, current District 6 Council Member Sam Dean, current Prince George's County Sheriff Michael Jackson, current State Delegate Jerron Levi, and Chair of the Veterans Commission of Prince George's County and retired Lieutenant Colonel Henry Turner. Please join me in welcoming our candidates. One or two housekeeping notes. I would ask that everyone please mute or turn off your cell phones and BlackBerries so our candidates can hear the questions and respond to them without interruption. We certainly appreciate your consideration. And finally, for the candidates, just so you know how this will work, I will begin with our first question. Mr. Baker, you will have the first opportunity, followed by Mr. Dean, Mr. Jackson, Ms. Levi, and Mr. Turner. We will continue to ask questions in a round-robin format. The next question will be started by Mr. Dean, number 3 by Mr. Jackson, and so on. We will continue in that rotation so everyone will kind of have an expectation of when it's your opportunity to speak. Are there any questions? Yep. All right. We will begin. The first question deals with marketing or branding. What specific actions will you undertake as county executive to make Prince George's County competitive with neighboring jurisdictions in attracting business and development? Mr. Baker.
First of all, I want to thank the Chamber for hosting this event. I want to thank the folks for coming out on what could be a stormy night. It's real simple. The things that we need to market the county is, one, improve our public education system. That is your calling card. That is what people know you by. If nothing else I learned on appropriation is people look at you on your public education system. That is what the businesses determine whether they're going to move here. The second thing is public safety. And we're making some progress now on public safety in terms of police and crime. But we also have to make sure that in terms of our fire department, corrections department, and state's attorney's office, that they're first and foremost. Those things will help us market Prince George's County as a safe place to do business, as a place that is on the rise. And so as county executive, those would be the focus that I would have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Dean.
Okay, thank you, and want to thank the Chamber. I always like to take the opportunity to introduce my wife, Donna, who I just saw come in, because that's what I do. I think I'll approach marketing and branding from a different perspective. One of the problems that we have here in Prince George's County is that we have always looked at ourselves in a negative fashion. We have some great things happening in Prince George's County, and we don't get that out. We have 7 schools that have made the Newsweek magazine top schools in the nation. We don't talk about that. We have the lowest crime rate in 35 years. We don't talk about that. When you look at other communities like Washington, D.C., they may have a murder over the weekend. It's said, it's in the paper, it's gone. We tend to linger. So what I would begin to do as county executive is to make sure that we begin to talk about those things that are great about Prince George's County, understanding that there are some issues that we have to deal with. If Maryland is the #1 state in the country with the schools, then something is wrong with the picture if we're the 2nd largest school system in in the state. And so therefore, we should be able to show that there are some great things here in the county. And so, as I said, county executive, I will make sure that I will deal with the positive, but also to begin to correct those things that are deficient. Thank you.
Mr. Jackson.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank the Chamber for having me here tonight, and thank everyone for coming out. Under my administration, Prince George's County is going to be the hub for bringing about alternative energy in our region, bringing about a strong base for economic development and an education system that's second to none. And we're going to do that by looking at our we have the most underdeveloped land in this region, and we're going to work together with the stakeholders, and we are going to develop that land to create mixed use, which is also going to bring businesses to our community, lessen our traffic in our community. We're going to, our region is ripe for alternative energy. Look at the land we have. Our county's landfill is ripe for alternative energy. We have the rural tier that's ripe for alternative energy. And everything I talk about goes back to our educational system. We have 140,000 students in our school system, and our job is to make sure that those young people have the exposure to career opportunities here in Prince George's County, beginning with the businesses that we have here in our county. Our businesses partnering with our young people to create a workforce for our future. We've got everything we need here. We just need a leader to pull everything together. And I look forward to working with the Chamber as we move forward here in Prince George's County.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Before Ms. Levi, you answer, I just want to let the people know who are standing in the back, we do have plenty of seats. Feel free to come down because we'd like you to be comfortable. Ms. Levi.
Well, one thing, first of all, thank the Chamber for the great opportunity this evening to discuss business issues in the county. One thing I want to take a fresh look at is how we use that portion of the hotel-motel tax that is available to market and do some economic development activity in the county. So I want to sort of reevaluate how we're using that portion of the hotel-motel tax and how we're marketing the county. I also want to kick off some new initiatives. I've talked a lot about county stat, or moving the county to a data-driven, performance-driven government. And I think that can send a perception through the business community and through others that we are going to do business differently. And moving to a county stat or that type of data-driven, performance-driven approach to government, streamlining the permitting process, can really kick off a new perception of how we're going to do business differently in the county, be more transparent about how we're doing business in the county. I think kicking off some new groundbreaking headline-making initiatives can create a new perception of the county as well. I also think that we have to work with the great assets we have in the county, all of our research and development capacity, to work together to draft a new vision of how the county is perceived.
Thank you. And Mr. Turner.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to come out here and talk to you, and I want to thank you for being here as a community, because as I'm sitting here looking at you, you all look very, very good. And, and I can see we've got a community that's interested in the direction that we're going to move Prince George's County towards. And I'd like to also recognize my wife, because she's here too, Winifred Turner. Thank you, dear. Well, as we look at this question, this is an important question because we've got to change the image of Prince George's County. As mentioned, it does focus and hinge on our ability to change our educational system. But there's several things that we can change immediately that can impact upon how we change our image. Because we want an image of one in which Prince George's County is considered a global power, one that's considered a mecca for international business, one that's the high point of everything that's around Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. First of all, we need to look at changing the way our Visitors Bureau operates here in Prince George's County. Because I don't know, I haven't seen any visitors coming into Prince George's County to look at our county. We need to look at our Economic Development Corporation. That's the corporation that's out there attracting the businesses to bring here into Prince George's County. We need to look at the employment opportunities that we can bring. We need to look at our research triangle that we have here and partnering up with the Maryland University Research Center. We've got Adelphi, we've got Beltsville, and we've got Goddard NASA Space Center. That should become our economic engine here in Prince George's County.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. The next question, we'll start with Mr. Dean. Because government sets the tone for how business is done in any jurisdiction, if elected, how do you plan to address administrative competency? And we'd ask you to please be specific. Mr. Dean.
Okay. That's a great question. As I become county executive, when, I will make sure that people will understand that Prince George's is open for business and that we're business friendly. I have a track record of delivering as a council member relative to business. I've put in legislation that established a Center for Minority Development here at the college to help small businesses develop the necessary skills that they need in order to bring businesses in. I've put in legislation that would allow development around our metro stations to attract businesses. So what I would do is to make sure that I have a czar in my office to deal with going out and making sure that businesses understand that we're here. One of the other things that we have to do is to change how our zoning process operates. And so therefore, as county executive, I will ensure that we put the right people in park and planning to ensure that the process moves forward, because people get frustrated here in the county when they come as business people trying to get through the zoning process and the permitting process. And those are areas that I will change when I am county executive. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson.
How will I address administrative competency? First off, under my administration, we will institute the Office of Inspector General to ensure that the efficiencies and proficiencies we demand in Prince George's County are adhered to. But we also will implement something that's already in the toolbox here for our county government, for our businesses, the Minority Business Opportunity Commission, which will ensure that, and they will be tasked with with every development property in this county to ensure that all of our businesses here in Prince George's County have the ample opportunity and get their fair share as we move along. And finally, the people who are going to serve in my administration are going to be people who have these qualifications. One, they have mastered their discipline. Two, they have the passion for that discipline. Some have mastered and some have the passion, but they must have both. Three, they must be in line with the mission. The vision to be county executive is mine. The mission on how we serve our public and our businesses here in our county is ours. That's a teamwork effort. I will be their biggest advocate. I will ensure that they have every tool they need in order to be successful. But then lastly, I will demand that they do their jobs. And if they don't do their jobs, we'll take the corrective actions as long as we can, as long as it's not detrimental to Prince George's County and the services that are demanded. And if we can't get that taken care of, then we will go about and replace those individuals. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Levi.
I've said frequently I'm a big fan of a book by Jim Collins, Good to Great. How do you make good organizations great? And it really goes to my management philosophy. You have to get good people working with you. Get the right people on the bus, the wrong people off the bus, and the right people in the right seats on the bus. So first of all, in terms of all of the budgeted agencies that we have, I will be looking for three qualifications to the leaders of those organizations. Expertise in the area I'm asking them to lead, a vision for where they want to take that agency or that department, and a work ethic that matches my own. And I think if you have people who exhibit those qualities, you will have fewer administrative lapses and inefficiencies. In addition, going back to looking at the data, all of my departments will be looking at how we are performing as government. How long does it take, for example, to get a permit? All of the administrative issues that involve government, we will constantly be looking to maximize efficiencies